The clothing a speaker should be wearing in a mediated presentation is ideally a neutral color. I'm okay with some pops of color as well to keep attention. Just kind of think about how the colors that you're wearing go with any kind of background or visual aids that you may have. You don't want it to be too crazy or have too many patterns going on. But neutral colors, perhaps with pops of color. Even navy, such as this, that can be neutral. Do the best that you can. You can express yourself within these parameters as well. With a mediated presentation, the focus should be on the message and the speaker, not the pictures or the slides. If I could make the narrator box that I have for these lectures larger, I would, to make the focus on the speaker. This is the largest that I can make it in the technology and the format that I use. The focus should be on the speaker and on the message. Now, what advantage do all types of mediated presentations have? Whether it's Zoom, Skype, a virtual lecture, a teleconference. The advantage that whatever type they are, FaceTime, is flexibility. So during COVID, I have been able to volunteer some at Pioneer Farms, and I take my phone and I can answer emails. I can work from there. Even email is a mediated communication when you think about it. It's not a presentation, but it's still increasing that flexibility of how and when we can communicate. Does mediated communication have disadvantages? Absolutely. You can lose that face-to-face, in-person connection, and also you can get totally the wrong idea. So after this lecture, I'm going to show a clip from the office of Michael Scott using GPS. Perhaps you know the clip. GPS can get us into some trouble. I remember a family vacation we were on. We were in Pittsburgh, and we wanted to get to a McDonald's in the morning. Our hotel didn't have breakfast, and we used GPS, and it took us to one McDonald's that was closed, and the next McDonald's it was taking us to was in the airport. It took us into the entrance of the airport. We're going through all of the loops of the airport. That's not the McDonald's we were looking for, GPS. To tell you some technology, you probably heard this now from the COVID world on, but synchronous and real-time presentations are the same thing. So that means if you were listening to this lecture while I was giving it, that would be synchronous and real-time. Because you're going to listen to this lecture later and take your notes later, it's going to be asynchronous. Synchronous is like in sync. It means at the same time. So if there's a presentation being given during a video conference, is that synchronous or asynchronous? Yes, it is synchronous. It's at the same time because it's a video conference. Now, is it face-to-face or is it mediated? Good catching on. It's mediated, yes. Faces are looking at each other, but face-to-face means we don't need any technology to have this communication. It's mediated because we need that video technology to see each other's faces, but it's mediated. What is the most important thing a speaker should check before beginning to deliver a real-time presentation? You might think, their hair? No, it's actually the technology. And so I have found in recording these video lectures for you that, and I was telling my husband about this, it takes 2 or 3 times as much time easily as recording the lecture at just working with the technology. Sometimes 4 or 5 times the amount of time it takes to make the lecture, to upload, to back up, to get it on the proper formats, all of this. If the site being used to transmit the mediated presentation stops working, try opening it in a different browser. That's especially if you're doing, the real-time work. And finally, there's one last clip that I'll show you that